long weekend is over. We've returned, and it's time for We Were Gamers, episode 488.
Long weekend? What long weekend?
So some people in places I don't control decided that this is a 4-day weekend for children and school age groups.
It was for me.
Oh, that's been nice.
So 2/3 of us had 4 days to fill there, Mr. Michael.
Yeah, I had the regular 2.
My 4 days involved a loss in general of good cell service, despite having taken a few things to play games. I did not get a good chance to do so. So the game coverage will have to come from one of you. And I know we've been talking about one behind the scenes, maybe a little bit actually in front of the scenes. We talked about MEWgenics last week, JJ.
Andy, you're going to have to pronounce that real carefully. What did you say we were talking about?
Mew as in a cat.
Yes.
MEWgenics.
Yeah.
There we go.
MEWgenics.
It's so easy to not say it right.
Just to be very clear, yeah.
Mew as in a meow.
Yes.
They should have done meow. That would have been closer.
It's this way on purpose. Very confident.
Yeah, not the best time in the world for this type of thing. Naming wise.
The creator is a bit cringe, so I think there's
The creator is cringe?
He's very pointedly both sidesing everything out there right now.
Oh, no.
There's a bunch of voices of people in this game, people voicing cats, to be clear. It's they meow. It's not we're paying voice actors millions of dollars here, but there's, people from all across all the political spectrums
doing cat voices?
Yes.
I see.
The professors in this game, Andy.
Oh.
And
interesting.
People you won't like on YouTube are also in this game.
Got it.
But all of that is to say, people meowing in a cat game are, it's not really the biggest stakes, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
But what is interesting is this game is like catnip for people who really want to dig into systems.
I love systems. You mean tinkery type things, huh?
The impression that I've gotten, and I'm not very far into the game to be clear. I've won several runs, but that doesn't really mean anything because every time I've won a run, it unlocked more things to do. So that implies to me that I'm still in some kind of tutorial-ish type thing.
Yeah, it sounds like the game is spoon feeding you a little bit.
Yeah, it totally is. So I have several different classes unlocked. I guess the structure of the game is you recruit cats either through breeding them in your house or, strays you pick up one per day from the side of the road. The cats all, live in a house together and make kittens as cats do.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Sims like we discussed last time, maybe?
Mm-hmm, yep. And then you take 4 of them at a time out on adventures in a very Slay the Spire-ish kind of map, where there's not really a ton of branching paths, but the dotted lines each lead to a node and something happens at the node, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the thing might be a little, a skull face for an enemy or a little question mark for something random or a treasure chest for, getting items or, these sorts of things, right? There's a shop at some point. And then when you get into an enemy encounter, it is a square grid. And I forget by how many squares, but 3/4 view tactical combat game. And so you got your 4 cats against all the enemies out there and, various terrain and weather and all kinds of weird effects going on. And then it's really just attempting to contain the chaos because early on, it's okay, well, my fighter has a melee attack and a jump. Cool. And, my ranger rogue, I forget what the name of the hunter. The hunter class, it has a ranged attack. Cool. And then I can shoot little droplets of water. Oh, okay. And the cleric cat has a healing thing. I can attack and it will either do damage or heal depending on who I hit. Cool.
All right.
And this all seems very straightforward. until every cat also comes with a passive ability that after a while you level up and get new ones, which then start like multiplying the number of crazy things that you can do as you level up and gain more skills. And then all of a sudden, this cat can jump, spin around in a circle and deal damage, and then also attack and knock people back. And then when people attack you, they take damage. But then when they take damage, you heal. And like, it's just all this stuff just kind of like, you could just see the ... lines, you know. One memorable encounter I had was, I forget it was definitely a fighter cat, I think. One of the items I had equipped was like a piece of a rubber tire. It gave you, I think, like 1 armor, and then when enemies hit me, they bounce backwards some number of squares. And I was in a like junkyard type setting.
Is it like other games in this genre where bouncing backward can do damage?
If you hit a wall, certainly.
Okay, great.
Yep.
But in the junkyard, one of the items that is sometimes strewn about, as you might expect, is a tire.
Oh, and so now you bounce.
And what happens when you hit the tire is you bounce off. Well, they bounced off me, and then bounced off the tire, and then bounced off me, and then bounced off the tire, and bounced back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until they died.
I love it.
Notably, like when they contact you, it's not like you don't take damage though. So, you know, you're risking your hit points against theirs effectively in this scenario.
Whose was higher to start with, kind of thing.
Yeah. But it is very funny because a different run, but I was, after seeing how effective that was, I enjoyed using the tire when I could find it. And I had another cat with a similar kind of setup, a thing that knocks them back when they attack me. And I was in the junkyard, but it was a different boss. And it was a boss this time that got caught in this loop. And the boss has more hit points than I do. And eventually it led to my cat being left with 1 health and the boss at, half or something, which had taken out like a large portion of the boss's HP, bouncing back and forth constantly. But then my cat was immediately murdered.
Do you ever get the chance to bring in more than 1 cat?
So you can bring in 4.
Oh, okay. So you could have won that one anyway if that cat had died. Is it permadeath?
And I did win that one after.
Okay.
Depends what you mean by death. When your cat loses all its hit points, it goes down. And then there's like certain number of turns you have before the cat like dies, I guess. Or if the body gets destroyed, right? Because you can attack dead bodies in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And at which point then obviously you can't do anything. But if you do win in that time, the cat stands back up, regenerates health some amount based on their stats, and goes on. But they have an injury, so some statistic decreases based on,
Sure.
Random chance.
Okay.
So cats dying isn't like, or cats going down is definitely not the end of anything. Like you're fine generally, especially if you have a healer with you.
Mm-hmm.
Cats dying outright is much tougher. You're going to have a much worse time if you only have 3 instead of 4.
How long does it take to breed new cats? That's the question.
You get 1 stray cat a day, at least as far as I can tell. Maybe there are upgrades.
You don't have to keep the strays, I assume.
No, you can choose not to take them. But, genetic diversity is good.
I see they've built this into the game, huh?
And also, I mean, it is also good, but also like not that important. The game is called MEWgenics, and there is some amount of inheritance between the cats and their statistics and the skills that they have and all kinds of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes it is just important to get like other skills. If you're just like, okay, I have like 10 cats who all have the same sorts of skills, that's like not really very helpful. And similar, like you don't want every cat to have the same sort of stats, right? If they're all descended from the same couple of cats, you're going to kind of have the same statistics over and over.
Sure.
And then that's not so good if like you want a well-rounded party, let's say.
Are they strays randomly generated, or are they?
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay. So you could just have bad luck for a long time on strays.
Yeah, but like, you know, there's like minimums and maximums and everything. You're not going to end up with a cat who has like all zeros or whatever.
Mhm.
You might end up with a cat who just has like really crappy dex, but decent strength or whatever. There are probably, based on the way this game is, I'm sure there's probably ways to improve all this stuff over time. I have not found them. But it definitely seems like I've only recently unlocked the ability to buy furniture for my house, which then increases various statistics that I don't know necessarily what all of them do yet.
Mhm.
But they definitely do something. Otherwise, why would you have them listed there, right?
Sure.
And those statistics affect, you know, the sorts of things the cats do when they breed, and what statistics get passed on, and whether they have children or not, right? All this sorts of stuff.
Mhm.
Sure.
So there's definitely something going on there. I have no idea. Again, like this game is like apparently ridiculously long, and I have not even seen even close to all the biomes yet. So I have no idea really all the various pieces that are available here.
That's pretty cool, though.
But it is like
depth is good.
The chaos is like at some points it just becomes a matter of like, I just need to try and complete whatever is happening in this scenario. And I just can't deal with the fact that like 400 things are on fire. This cat is bleeding to death. This cat is poisoned. Everywhere you walk is full of poison. Like it's just, you're just trying to like gently push the chaos in a direction that's beneficial to you as opposed to them.
One might almost say it's like herding cats.
It is like that to some degree. Yeah. And the tactical combat is like really interesting. There are so many combinations of moves, so many different classes, so many different abilities for each class, right? Oh, and then you win a run with this class, and then it's like, oh, this class has now unlocked a new ability that might show up, right?
Mhm.
And then certain abilities combo with all the various passives. So you have a passive ability that's like, oh, you pick up all the coins after battle, which normally you would have to step on to pick up, right? Oh, okay, well, that's very useful.
I like that.
Another one, every time you hit an enemy, it spawns a coin. Oh, okay. Well, so like, I don't actually care about the normal damage this character does. I just want like abilities that you can spam that deal 1 damage. It's like spawn $1 billion, right? And yeah, there's all kinds of crazy abilities like that. There was, I think I mentioned it before, there's an ability called 1D chess.
Yes, you did. Is kind of I think you said it was basically a Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, the less intelligence your cat has, the farther it moves directly towards an enemy. It's very fun. It doesn't use your normal move, so that's very funny. I had another one that was 1 + 1 = 3, which is your cat's statistics can't ever be lower than 3, which is kind of cool. Oh, okay. So like, you know, all of their abilities, like even if they normally would be horrible, are just 3 all the time.
That's fine. Yeah.
And there's even there's a necromancer class, which I haven't even really gotten to use very much yet. And apparently it synergizes really well with like downing itself or downing other cats and using that to fuel its abilities. So there's a crazy variety. The game is like super interesting so far.
Well,
very cool.
Yeah. That's exactly up the alley, I think, of many of the types of things.
Oh, I also do want to shout out the music in this game. You're like, you know, you're in an area and there's kind of like a jazzy sort of bass, you know, bass line and a little sort of thing going on. And then you get into the fight with the boss of the area and the lyrics kick in.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, okay, this is very cool. But all the music of the game is very much like a jazz kind of old-timey feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the game has like a film grain and like, you know, dust and all that kind of stuff like in the camera, like aesthetic, which they thankfully allow you to turn off because I find that stuff super annoying. But the boss of one of the areas is like this game also has like a very like like 5-year-old idea of jokes for humor in some cases. And it's like it's a poop or a like there's a lot of scat humor and stuff like that here.
Sure.
So one of the areas that you're fighting in is this big arena in a cave with a bunch of water that kind of swirls around, and you fight a giant poop. You can kind of guess where this is going.
Uh-oh.
The song is about a toilet. You're like talking about like washing things down the bowl, swirl around the hole, and you're just like, I'd been listening to this like jazzy song the whole time, and then the words kick in, and it's like singing about taking a poo.
Oh boy.
You got me.
It's like, dang it, this song is good though.
Oh no, we don't like that.
It's very funny. It's not like, the lyrics so far have not been like explicit, but they have been very funny. So part of the humor of the game is like, yes, there's poop.
I don't have a lot of hot follow-ups.
I was gonna say, how do you transition from that?
Pretty tough
Toilet
one.
bowl. Toilet bowl situation. Although I guess we could talk briefly about the norovirus swirling through the Olympics. Since we're talking about poop. Wash your hands.
Please do.
I assume JJ, you're still all in on curling.
Yeah, I mean, I joined a curling betting pool this year.
Oh, as the best curler of the group here, since
which I guess
done.
I joined last Winter Olympics also, but yes, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing horrible, so I don't know. Like my choices were any good. But the game is fun to watch, I think. Have you guys been bit by the curling bug at all?
A little bit. I've watched some here and there.
The Winter Olympics has been a ongoing enjoyment here. A lot of people in the house want to watch it, but it hasn't been really curling. It's mostly been skating and skiing and snowboarding around here.
The more popular events.
Yeah. I guess they're more showy, more flashy.
Right.
They also come in smaller bites, I think.
Yeah, curling, you sort of have to commit to watching the whole thing, or at least, the back half of it. Otherwise, like, you're kind of missing out.
Yeah. It's definitely the baseball of the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, but Michael's not wrong, though. The baseball-like quality is very high. And, as a baseball enjoyer, I'm shocked that you're not watching it, Andy, because it is very baseball.
I don't know, man. When the controversy is people definitely cheating and then getting angry at each other about accusing each other of cheating.
Andy, it's a gentleman's game, just like baseball. There's unwritten rules. It's literally the same.
Yep. I've heard that. Well, if we're gonna, I think, I don't know, man. There's a lot of media this week, I think, between all of us that might not just all be about games. So if we're already talking about the Olympics, I think I want to at least talk about why people are watching what they watch a little bit. I don't know if you've listened to things outside of the like curling announcers, but like the general reporting on the Olympics. Have you seen this yet? A little bit about them kind of pushing certain sports from here and not from there. I don't. This has started a while ago, but not many on the ground reporters this year in Italy.
Okay. Yeah. NBC fired a bunch of people, right? And the various newspapers that used to cover all this stuff have also fired a bunch of people.
Right.
Correct.
So the fallout of that.
And the fallout of that is that also most of the people commenting on the sports are not even there. They're doing it in booths in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And really the quality, if you thought the Super Bowl commentating was pretty bad, the quality of some of these has been pretty atrocious. And I think a lot of people are talking about, the lack of expertise or other things. Like even in skating, some of these rounds, they don't know everything about the skaters that are out there. They don't, they'll say one thing at the beginning of the round, say something completely different at the end. I don't know if you've noticed that in any of the stuff that you've been watching.
One thing I have noticed, I mean, since I've mostly been watching curling, is the same anecdotes will get repeated about certain players. Oh, this is a thing that we know about this person, and then later in the cast they'll say that exact same thing. But one of the benefits curling has is it's slow, so they have a lot of time. Like there isn't issues with the delay or like bad casting because they have to like hurry and like say something for the next 5 seconds before the next thing starts or whatever. So there is some benefit there, but yeah, I haven't watched a ton of the other events, but it definitely has, because you don't get any pictures of people in the booth together or like here's a person nearby the event or anything like that.
Yeah, so that's part of the problem is that they're not in the booth together. A lot of the commentating has been very off because they don't even see each other. They're just in booths all by themselves, or they're across the planet from each other, and they're
on a Zoom call or something.
Yeah, they've got experts in some of the fields, like, oh, this person was a skater, but hasn't been keeping up on the skating, and then there's a color commentator, but there's no stat commentator. There are things like that, and some of the competitors, they don't know them at all. It's been noticeable to me versus the heyday of like the Summer Olympics when there was a billion people there that wanted to see, Michael Phelps break records and all that sort of stuff. And the world descended on these places. It's been quite noticeable that Milan has been pretty subdued. I think they say that, some of the towns where these things are taking place are crowded briefly, but the hub areas are pretty much the same, if not kind of just normal. Not a lot of huge crowds and stuff in Milan specifically.
Well, I think in Milan specifically, Milan is not near any of these places. Like it's not. Having been to Milan recently, last year, let me tell you, it's not really mountains. Like, there are mountains nearby there, but like you kind of got to go a couple hours outside of Milan. So like,
sure,
if you're going for the Winter Olympics, you wouldn't go to Milan. You'd go to the other place, 2 hours from Milan, wherever the ski slope is or the other, event stuff is.
Yeah.
So Milan not being crowded isn't terribly surprising to me. But yeah, and especially given that some of these events only take place for like 3 days or whatever, right? It's like, wherever the ski jump is in Italy, that one is like insane for 3 days, and then
it's done.
Everyone's gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that isn't terribly surprising. I think versus the Summer Olympics, where a lot of them use the same facilities over and over, and they're in use every single day of the Olympics. Versus this, where there's a lot more specialized stuff, right? It's like, oh, okay, like, yeah, maybe the bobsled track is in use every day, and the curling rinks are, but, the Super G slope is done, and they're never going back there.
What else could it be used for? Yeah, kind of custom.
Yeah. Well, they've had problems too with a lot of the things that they created just for this Olympics. They didn't even make enough of them, right? There's big controversy over the speed skaters and the figure skaters sharing the same ice because they don't have enough ice rinks.
Right, and they don't need they need different conditions of ice for those two events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting. Not a disaster, it sounds like, but definitely a new normal for the Olympics. I don't know what it'll be like in 2 years or in the US, but
and I think like in general, the Winter Olympics are significantly less popular than the Summer Olympics period, right?
True. I do believe that is very true. Yes.
Less countries participate, less viewership, less money, yada yada. So a little bit of restraint on Italy's end, not building, 14 extra hockey rinks or whatever for a sport they barely play.
That are just going to sit open and empty forever.
You can't blame them a lot, right? And I know the Olympics that are coming to the U.S. in 2 years, I think LA didn't build any facilities, right?
They were supposed to.
Tried not to.
They were supposed to be doing some stuff like finishing off infrastructure projects and Yeah. But instead, I think they're just expanding across the U.S. I mean, some stuff's not even taking place in California.
Which
yeah, a
again,
couple of things.
yeah, makes sense for some things, right? Like there's not enough soccer stadiums or whatever in just California.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, Tastemakers, JJ.
Hmm?
I sent you this. I think maybe also Michael. I sent you this. Bring back Tastemakers. Contemplating JJ sending a message to your suit guy about this show that I was watching, and it got me thinking about Tastemakers, or snobs, as some people put it in the video that we were watching. I can't remember the name of the suit guy. What's the name of the suit guy?
Derek Guy, is that who you're talking about?
Yes.
The menswear guy on Twitter?
Mm-hmm. It got me thinking about it. I was watching a movie recently called The Phoenician Scheme.
Okay.
Yes.
A Wes Anderson film.
Mm-hmm.
Film with an E at the end of it. And it's Benicio del Toro, right? I think in that movie.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
it's Benicio del Toro in that movie. He sits down at one point, and his suit bunches up all crazy. I think it might have been on purpose. I don't know. With Wes Anderson, you never know. And all I could think about was Derek Guy being
Just
like,
pointing out that his collar
he,
gap is bad, and
well, if he had seen how how the suit bunched when he sat down, he would have been like, see, this is why you're supposed to do this thing, and why the suit's supposed to be fitted this way or that way, you know. And it got me thinking about the movie too. I don't remember a lot of people talking about Phoenician Scheme. Do you?
no, it came out. I remember seeing trailers for it last year or the year before. And I was like, oh, this looks interesting, but it did not intrigue me enough to want to pay money to see it in a theater. And then I'm sure it came out on streaming and I just haven't paid attention.
Yeah. Michael, did you watch this one? I don't know if it was up for an Oscar or with your watching things.
I have not seen this one yet. No.
I think this is and maybe this ties into what you've been watching recently, JJ. Maybe what people are talking about with things that more people need to advocate for, I guess, be snobs about, because movies like this versus Marvel movies, a lot of people obviously are not Wes Anderson fans because he's kind of cheeky with how he makes movies and all that. But at the same time, the pacing and music and all that kind of stuff are, decidedly crafted. And I can't put my finger on why I like it so much, other than it's just different than everything else. And I can't believe it's only got a 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, because I mean, this one to me is one of the better movies I've seen in over a year. It's enjoyable. It's well designed. The framing is crazy. I think Michael Cera probably is a huge turnoff for a lot of people. But
is he not liked, or is he just like, I don't know?
I think a lot of people
don't.
No. I just think a lot of people don't click with him being a actor that they like. Like his mannerisms, demeanor, etc.
Got it.
But the cast is crazy expansive. I mean, Tom Hanks, Benedict Cumberbatch, Scarlett Johansson, Benicio del Toro. I mean, it's just endless cast.
Well, typical Wes Anderson, right?
Yeah. I mean, he casts the largest net in terms of bringing people in.
I think something you're reacting to here, Andy, is a movie that is crafted for a specific purpose and a specific thing, right? It's like he made this specific movie, right?
Yeah, beyond the story, right? Like, that's, I think, what's missing a lot now is beyond just hammering through the plot. right? There's more to this movie than hammering through the plot.
A lot of, especially big budget movies, which is, likely the stuff you've been seeing, is that, a movie that is built for a specific purpose is very different from like a lot of the big studio movies that are sort of built for other purposes, right? Like they're built to be a big blockbuster movie, yes, but they're also built to appeal to fans of this thing and that thing and a third thing and a fifth thing and focus testing and 400 different angles that all need to kind of round out the corners of the movie. And so then it's not a specific unique thing. It's sort of a one size fits all kind of amalgamation of things, which then makes it really tough to say like, oh, I guess I didn't hate this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but in a similar way, I don't love it either because it's a weird amorphous shaped thing that isn't like unique or interesting.
Right, but there's the Wes Anderson is the completely opposite side of that coin, right? He makes Wes Anderson films, which are a very particular aesthetic for people who enjoy Wes Anderson films, and you either do or you don't, right?
Very funny. This one buries his normal aesthetics in terms of color palette and other things like that. The filmmaking is still very Wes Anderson, but there's a lot of neutral tones and other things like that, which is very much on purpose.
Tones down
the color palette
and
is chosen on purpose, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny though. That's kind of what I was getting at, maybe with asking about your show that you're watching there, which is Wonder Man a bread, a Wonder Bread version of a TV show? Is it made for making everybody okay, but not really anything else?
I don't know. So I've only watched the first 3 episodes. There only appear to be 8, and I think that's the entire run. But it's very idiosyncratic for a Marvel thing. This is like a movie about acting currently. There's a lot of talking about like auditioning and, how you get parts and how you deal with being in Hollywood,
Okay.
Which it has the feel of a bunch of actors talking about acting, if you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
We call that navel gazing.
A little bit, yeah. It's not as bad as the like writers writing about writing, which I
hate
find
those movies, all of them almost to a T. There's one that I like.
Yeah, but and there is more going on than just that in this movie or the show, I guess. But I really like Ben Kingsley in it so far. And the lead man, whose name I completely forget. I didn't. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in this show. He's a Haitian immigrant, and you go meet his family and stuff in one of the episodes, and it's very interesting. Like they're all kind of aware of his deal, and the older brother kind of is like, "All right, dude, you're just like." You're still going off and doing your acting thing, like, I'm a successful insurance executive and all this stuff is great. Like, do you want to come work for me and get a real job? And like, all of this stuff, right? And it, the plot happens in the meantime, but it is very, because they're doing a slow roll of the like, what's going on here? Why is this a Marvel movie thing? I think I'm enjoying it more than like some of the stuff where it's a lot more obvious what the hook and what the like superhero angle is in it.
Okay.
Slice of life isn't the wrong thing, but it is a grounded, you're in a universe with superheroes. What's, how do we make it not about that? Maybe.
Yeah. And the guy is like, he's like, oh, I have to film an audition. I have to do this. I have to do that. Oh, I got to sign like these 15 papers. It's like, oh, here's your NDA and sign these contracts or whatever. And, one of them is like, oh, here's your release form. Here's your whatever kind of form. It's like, this one says I'm not a superhero. This one says, all these various things, right? And you're like, oh, why is they signing a release saying I'm not a superhero?
Mm-hmm. How's Ben Kingsley doing coming back as a character that should have just probably been left in the dustbin of Iron Man 3.
It's pretty good. He plays, his whole deal was he was an actor, right?
Trevor.
Yeah. He plays a like washed up English actor coaching people on acting, right? He's doing it, man. He knows people from back in the day. He has a lot of connections, and they're making things happen. So I don't want to ruin any of the plot that's actually happening, besides what we're talking about. But I think the show is pretty good so far. Who knows if it sticks the landing or whatever. Like I said, I'm only 3 episodes in, but I'm really liking it. And it's 30 minutes an episode, not an hour.
Okay.
You know what? I'm liking the format, getting the things a little shorter. It's okay.
Yeah, so 8 30-minute episodes really is not like a ton of time. And it's kind of good because like it forces the episode to like not dawdle around and have 3 plots and, all this stuff. So it's working for me. I'm liking it so far.
Yeah, you got to tell a tighter story.
Yeah. Well, it's completely opposite of Casino, though, right?
Speaking of stories that aren't tight and are just sprawling and continuing for, did you guys see this movie? Have you seen this movie?
I've seen Casino and Heat.
Been a long time, but yeah.
Okay. Casino is like 170 plus minutes. It's almost 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Scorsese needs a damn editor.
He has one.
They need a different one because this person didn't do their job.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Bro, this movie is 30 minutes too long. At least.
He's always, I think she's, yeah, she would have probably edited the Casino. I'd have to look it up, but
if this is what we got for after editing, this is insane. Like the dude needs to be slapped. Like, stop it. And I know also like The Irishman, The Departed, and Killing
they're all crazy long.
That one are all crazy long.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that though. You could just not have movies be that long.
This is the Wes Anderson conversation again. He likes building long stories. Yeah, it's Thelma. It's the same editor he uses all the time. It's Thelma.
I'm sure it is.
Okay.
You could have taken out 20 minutes of this movie in various points and not impacted its quality in any way. The like third time that his girlfriend cheats on him or goes off with the guy, or the fourth time that Nikki screws up and like shoots up the town or whatever, you could have not had, and you would have still had the same outcome and no one would have been sad.
But you need to feel as frustrated as Robert De Niro. Well.
Yeah, the watcher, had to be frustrated with like, all right, get to the damn point. I know where this is going, and so do you, dude. Like, break up with her or quit, like, whatever. This is going to go bad. Oh, look, it did.
Yeah, well, Sam's made himself,
And not to say that I think it's a bad movie. Casino is a good movie, but it is just very long. And I just was like I wasn't having it that day, I guess.
Well, there's not a lot of action, right? Like,
but I didn't even need that. Like, I'm okay to watch a drama for 2.5 hours. Like, I can handle this. I'm an adult. Like, I don't need shooting scenes every 10 minutes. Like, that's fine. But the repetition, like the same character notes, like it's very clear what's going to happen here. Like,
Yeah, well, Scorsese was 30 years too early to explain what was going to happen to Vegas.
Yeah. It's very funny that he wasn't wrong. What happened there, right?
Nope. Literally, the end of that movie is everything that is currently happening in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Heat by proxy, like it was also a very long movie. I think it's over 2.5 hours.
It sure is.
And I was fine. Like no problem.
Well, it's Michael Mann, right? And it's a action film also.
But like I didn't have the same like issues I had with where like, okay, like scenes were just going on for forever. Like they were redoing the same character points over and over. Like there was
the last 30 minutes of that movie is like a shootout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, the big thing people complain about with Heat is Al Pacino just screaming at everyone all the time.
the man has a character trait, okay?
Yeah.
He has like one
He
thing
really-
he can do in every movie, and it's scream.
He dialed it to 14 for that one.
I mean, there's the meme that you sent in our group chat, Andrew, is a classic for many, many reasons, right? It's the famous one from that movie, I think. But yeah, Heat is great. Like, I can't have no notes, no changes. You're good.
Are you going to read the book?
No.
No? Are you
No.
going to watch the sequel movie?
Also, no.
Yes, you are.
No current plans.
Adam Driver and Leo DiCaprio? Come on.
I don't know, man. I don't trust a movie like that being made today.
I don't either.
But yeah, that's fair.
Michael Mann says he's making it, so you gotta respect that part.
I want him to do it. Like, make it happen, Michael. But until then, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I think your film thing is admirable, but I wonder how many Wes Anderson movies are in there. You know what I mean? Popular movies are not always artsy.
Yeah, I mean, not the title of the deck of cards, I think, said classic movies.
Oh,
so
those
I don't
are all
know.
gonna be crowd pleasers.
Yeah, you're not likely to end up with too many pure art movies, although I would expect to be a couple in there, right?
One would hope. You have to keep us posted. I enjoy these updates. If people also are enjoying the updates, where should they send requests for the next ones?
Oh, they can send those to podcast@weweregamers.com.